Welcome to another edition of the Turnpike Sports Book Report. I'm Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We're here to give you a whip-around look at some of the latest news coming out of the sports betting industry. This week, in our state and national reports, we're going to be talking some March and April benchmarks, as well as continuing our discussion about some of the numbers coming out for the second year in Ontario sports betting and iGaming.
Okay.
Deals, we've got a Native American sportsbook deal to talk about, as well as the completion of a very talked about merger.
Yes.
In the integrity area of sports betting.
It's a pretty big merger. It means a lot for the sports betting industry and iGaming industry as well.
Exactly. And in the industry updates, we're going to be talking some licenses, launches, and ending up with a couple closures.
Okay.
And we'll finish up with our legislative roundup. We've got news coming out of Minnesota, Alabama, and Arkansas.
Interesting states.
Yeah. It's a different trio than we're usually used to talking about. We'll be talking state and national reports right after this.
Interest rates and inflation are out of control. Is your credit card debt also out of control? It's time to resolve your debt and take back control for a lot less than what you owe. If you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt, then you need to call us right now. Debt Fix Pros can significantly reduce the amount you owe, and you could be debt-free faster than you think.
I knew we had to do something. Our debt was growing.
It was getting out of control, and we just didn't know what to do.
We saw an ad for Debt Fix Pros. We called, and they showed us how fast they could get us out of debt.
It really was amazing, and now we're back in control.
Call now, and we'll show you how easy it is to fix your debt. The call and consultation are free. Call Debt Fix Pros right now at 800-479-3522. That's 800-479-3522. 800-479-3522.
Attention. If you owe back taxes to the IRS, watch this urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by hiring 87,000 new agents to garnish your paycheck and put liens on homes and businesses. They can even seize your bank account. The IRS calls it enforced compliance, and now they have the manpower to get you. Penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily. So call One Stop Tax Relief Shop and get the IRS off your back. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. And no other tax shop gets you more or faster approvals. One Stop Tax Relief has resolved thousands of cases since 2014 and saved clients millions of dollars. Call now for a free consultation. Connect with tax professionals who get the IRS off your back.
Call 800-605-0688. 800-605-0688.
One Stop Tax Relief Shop.
Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Book Report. We're going to start off the state and national reports up in Ontario. iGaming Ontario reported on their second year of regulated sports betting and iGaming in the province. According to iGaming Ontario, the province generated $63 billion in total handle for the year and $2.4 billion in total revenue.
Nice. Okay.
They also reported a record fourth quarter that ended the fiscal year for them between January 1st and March 31st of this year. Resulted in $17.8 billion in total handle and $690 million in revenue.
The numbers up there are just incredible.
Yes.
Absolutely amazing what's happening in Canada.
According to iGaming Ontario, for the fourth quarter, the record-setting fourth quarter, there was 1.3 million player accounts active, and with a monthly spend per active player account of $263.
Wow.
So
I got to tell you, I love what Canada did, or Ontario did, to be more specific, because when they expanded gambling, they just did the whole thing. The iGaming, the online casinos, the online poker, the sports betting, they went full bore on this thing, and it's great.
So what you're saying
it's really
is
paying off.
Maybe Ontario did it the right way as opposed to a lot of the states in the United States?
Yeah, online casinos is going to be a hot topic going forward for a lot of states. And one of the things a lot of these states have to look at is the money coming in. And, there's technology and programs. If they're worried about problem gambling or integrity issues, there are safeguards in place. So, online casinos and online poker are a great way to bring revenue into the state, and it's a safe way to bring revenue into the state. So,
moving back into the United States,
I got off my soapbox now.
There you go.
There you go. So, I feel good now.
The opinion segment of the program.
I can leave now.
Yes.
So
We're coming back in the United States. We've got Pennsylvania reporting their March numbers. We've got Pennsylvania reporting that all-time tax revenue in the Commonwealth passed $550 million.
Wow.
The state itself reported its fifth monthly handle of at least $800 million, and all 5 of those $800 million handles have happened in the last 6 months.
Wow. Okay. They're on a heater.
They're on a heater.
They're on a heater.
Going down to Louisiana, they reported their March numbers as well. We've got all-time handle in that state, $6 billion passing that mark. All-time gross gaming revenue past $700 million. Second straight month with at least $20 million or more in parlay revenue.
And these numbers are more impressive when you realize that the entire state of Louisiana, or I should call it a Commonwealth, I don't know what they call it, sports betting isn't legal in every bit of the state. I mean, there are certain parishes, which everyone else calls as counties.
Or townships.
Well, usually people call them counties, but they call them parishes. Not every parish in Louisiana, sports betting is legal. So, when you see these numbers, it's not the entire state, it's the legal parts of the state that are bringing these numbers and these record-setting numbers.
I think there's only, 4 or 5 parishes that don't allow sports betting?
Well, that's a lot. I mean, that's
isn't there something like over 25, 30 parishes?
And it goes back to what I said. The technology is such that this geolocation and this geofencing is just absolutely amazing. It's incredible technology. It's something we haven't had 10 years ago. So this is, the technology that's involved in this industry is just absolutely amazing.
And continually evolving.
Yeah, and evolving too, yes. Yeah. So.
Over in D.C., we've got their March report. All-time handle past $700 million in the district. We've got 2 new Class B licensees launching in the month of March. We've got Grand Central opening up their second location on H Street in the district, and FanDuel started operating their kiosks at Sports and Social DC on U Street.
I was at a Sports and Social. Where was that? In Philadelphia?
Yes.
Yes. Good burger.
Also a FanDuel book, too.
Yeah, it's a FanDuel.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Not all sports and socials are with FanDuel, though. So
okay.
They're each independent kind of thing. So,
but good food, like I said.
Yes, very good food.
Yeah.
Gambit DC, though, was still, which FanDuel replaced, by the way. Gambit DC is now FanDuel.
Yeah.
They lost their contract. Gambit DC in March was still the top generator of both handle and volume of tickets written in the district.
That was their last month, right?
Halfway. They went halfway.
Oh, they went halfway?
Yeah, April 15th, FanDuel took over.
Oh, okay. They went halfway through April.
Yeah.
Okay, so March was all Gambit.
Yeah, it was all Gambit.
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
One other note for the district, we always talk about Cloakroom DC.
Yes, one of my favorite sports books. I can call it a sports book. I guess you can call it a sports book. Close enough. It's a gentleman's club.
Yes. The over-under sports bar is where all the kiosks are.
Oh, okay.
Yes. They actually generated a positive revenue of $38,000 for the month. I'm sorry, $38,000 in handle for the month.
Okay.
But they still have a negative revenue all time of negative $43,900.
So what you're saying is there's a lot of.
I'm sorry, I have my notes here.
Okay.
It's $38,000 in revenue.
So say that again. What
$38,000 in revenue.
All right.
And they have a negative all-time revenue still of $43,000.
Okay, they're still in the red kind of thing.
They're getting out of it a little bit.
Well, I'm impressed. There's a lot of smart bettors in the cloakroom who are obviously concentrating and are amazingly focused on their bets, considering the atmosphere and the environment and the location that they're placing these bets in. Again, we mentioned it's a gentleman's club.
Yes. Over in Delaware, the state of Delaware reported their March numbers, all-time handle past $650 million, and also 7th straight month with at least $1 million in gross gaming revenue. Over in South Dakota, we have a record monthly handle of just over 1.2 million. Third monthly handle of at least $1 million.
Okay.
College basketball for the month of March in South Dakota was accounted for 80% of the total handle.
Wow. Good.
Yep. And as always, we're going to finish up the segment with New York. We've got the week ending April 21st.
Okay.
Now, we're actually in the new fiscal year for New York, so we've only got 4 weeks of fiscal year data.
Wasn't there some weird accounting glitch
Yes.
that cost New York a record a couple of weeks ago?
Well,
So
they're well on their way to getting that record this month.
Okay, so
Yeah.
all right. So yeah, because the month ended halfway through a week.
Yep.
And because the accounting said it was part of the next month, they couldn't break the record for the
Yep.
month beforehand. Okay. All right.
But according to the fiscal year-to-date numbers...
Sounds like the accountants blew that one, huh?
It's not. No one blew anything. It's
Stop it.
Just the accounting rules.
Give it to them.
4 weeks in the fiscal year so far. We've got 4 weeks year-to-date. Handle has already passed 1.8 billion.
All right.
There's still another week or two left in April to report. And also fiscal year-to-date gross gaming revenue has passed 165 million.
So April ends on a Tuesday. So are they going to have a same situation? By the way, there's a calendar in the studio here, so everyone's looking at the calendar now. So.
No, but we'll get the week ending April 28th, and that'll count toward April.
Oh, week ending. Okay.
April 28th.
All right.
So we got one more week to hit 400 million.
Okay.
I think they're going to
All
hit
right.
the $2 billion mark here.
Now I'm trying to figure out when the week ended when they had that accounting
It ended
going on. So
It ended kind of weird. So,
okay. All right.
Because the end of the month ended on a Sunday, and the numbers didn't come in until Tuesday, Wednesday to the state. So it was actually in the next month they reported.
Okay.
The revenue was reported that month.
Okay.
FanDuel has 8 straight weeks of at least $170 million in weekly handle. DraftKings has 5 straight weeks of at least $150 million, 2 straight weeks of $180 million weekly handle. And with that $180 million streak they've got going here, they actually, for the last 2 weeks, have led in handle for the week.
Wow. Okay.
The weekly reports.
Okay.
This is also the first week I've seen in a long time DraftKings has led in revenue as well.
Is this 2 weeks in a row?
2 weeks for handle,
2
1 week
weeks
for revenue.
Okay. Good. Well, good for DraftKings.
Yes. That's it for state and national reports. We're going to head over to some deals. First deal of the week, Kambi Group has announced a landmark multi-state sports book agreement with the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma.
Okay.
Choctaw Nation is one of the largest Indian nations in the United States, and Kambi will be providing the nation with its sports betting technology and services to all of Choctaw Nation's gaming entities.
Okay.
It's a long-term deal, and it will combine digital and e-commerce expertise of the Choctaw Nation with Kambi's turnkey sportsbook solutions.
Okay.
Also, according to the agreement includes the scope to expand into multiple states. So this is a huge deal, not only for the Choctaw Nation, but it's also a huge deal for Kambi because it goes further in showing that Kambi is the preferred choice of sportsbook solutions for the Native American tribes. So it's a very important deal for the sportsbook industry, especially for Kambi.
And it's an interesting and important deal for people in Texas who like to go to casinos because
Yep.
when I think of Oklahoma casinos, that's where Texas people go, you know?
Well, the flagship property for Choctaw is, according to...
Is it like right over the border?
Right
kinda?
near the Texas border.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex region. 8 million people in Texas have access to this casino.
Yeah, I know.
All they got to do is just cross the border.
I think they have a deal with Texas Rangers and stuff
Yep.
like that.
They also signed up a couple of the Dallas Cowboys.
well, they have
to
that
do,
marketing deal,
yep.
with all the Texas
Emmett
sports
Smith and
yeah.
also Troy Aikman.
Yeah.
A lot of the Texas athletes are ambassadors for the property. The other deal we have this week, we have U.S. Integrity and Odds On Compliance announcing the completion of their merger and the launch of the combined entity Integrity Compliance 360 or shorthand IC360.
So how do you refer to it? Do they like IC360, or we're going to have to call them and ask you, how do you want to be referred to?
Well, we'll probably have them on pretty
Yeah,
soon.
probably, because we've had them on separately.
Yes. Yep.
So,
But it's IC360.
IC360.
Yep.
Okay. Congratulations. everyone.
Congratulations. That a long time coming. They announced the merger a few months
Well,
ago,
they-
and they worked it all out, and everything's done and approved.
They both do great work, and
Yes.
together I think they're going to do amazing things. So congratulations.
Well, the portfolio is going to include the integrity monitoring dashboard that has been part of the integrity services for both companies.
Yep.
Playbook AI is part
Yep.
of it, and also Prohibet.
Which is important.
Yes,
which is
that's for the
well, first
athletes,
off,
coaches, and staff. Of,
they're all great
professional
products,
teams.
and now
Yeah.
they're all under one roof.
Yes,
So
and this is probably the biggest merger in this area in quite a while, if all time, for this integrity part of the industry.
sure, I think it's important too.
Yes.
Good for them.
That's it for the deals. We're going to head over to industry updates right after this.
Every 40 seconds, a kid is reported missing. Find the Children provides educational material that teaches your kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs are very successful in bringing kids back home to their family. You can help protect our kids and bring the missing kids home safe by donating your unwanted car, truck, SUV, or van, running or not. We guarantee you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast free pickup, usually within 24 hours. Over 2,000 kids are reported missing every day. Call now to donate your vehicle. Donate now to bring these kids home safe.
Call 800-934-2260. 800-934-2260. 800-934-2260.
Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Book Report. The International Betting Integrity Association has reported that they received 56 alerts of suspicious betting during the first quarter of this year.
Is there any sport in particular they're talking about, or?
Well, this is 6 sports
Oh,
across
okay.
21 countries,
Okay.
5 continents.
All right.
The report encompasses all of that.
Okay.
The association has noted increases in alerts from football, soccer, and tennis.
Well, let me tell you, there's probably a lot of alerts for football or soccer and tennis is because it's played worldwide.
Yes.
And played almost year round. My God, soccer seems like it's never ending.
Well, tennis,
with
too.
all
You can play it
and
indoors.
tennis and all the different leagues and things like that. I mean, you're just probably going to see a lot from those sports just because a lot of it is played, you know.
Well, the 2 sports combined for 38 notifications of the 56 total. That's up almost 68% from the first quarter of from the final quarter of last year. Soccer had the most alerts, 24 of the 38, so that left 14 for tennis.
Yeah, something like that.
So
So, like I said, I mean, it's global, so you got a lot of eyes on it. It's almost played year round, both soccer and tennis. So yeah, that's kind of the sport that everyone's gonna target on because like I said, it's around the world. So
Europe had the most alerts in 2023. Already in quarter one for 2024, you have Asia having the most notifications. So
okay.
it's shifting over a little bit. It may even out later on, but right now, Europe only had 4 alerts, down almost 77% from the previous quarter.
Can I just say, I mean,
The
these
amount of
alerts,
these,
the technology is so, I don't know why people try and do the stupid things they do. I mean, and speaking as a lawyer, maybe we're glad they do it because, keeps us in business, but it's just so stupid for people to even try and buck the system because the technology and the monitoring and the training and the education is so great in this industry that I don't know why people even try this. I think these numbers are going to go down too.
And North and South America were both tied for second place. It's not a great list to be second on, but 10 alerts each in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Over in Canada, now we've been spending a lot of time talking about the NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball, the betting scandals, and also college football, NCAA. Canadian Football League announced they have recently suspended indefinitely a retired defensive lineman for betting on the league's games.
Oh, okay.
He just recently retired, so I guess there's a possibility he would have come back out of retirement.
I guess this just prevents him from coming back, I guess.
This is indefinite suspension. Betting on the league's games, which is prohibited. He even bet on one that he was playing in.
Wow. Okay.
Well, according to the investigation, it found that even though there's clear and unrefutable evidence of his involvement in the betting, there was no evidence that any of the betting affected any of the games that were going on.
Okay.
There was no influencing of the games.
Okay.
So it's basically an indefinite suspension. I'm assuming there's a mechanism for the Canadian Football League, just like the NFL, where he can apply for reinstatement if he ever want to come back.
Yeah, I have to find out when the Canadian Football League is playing. As a kid, I used to watch it all the time.
Grey Cup.
I actually saw Warren Moon play
Yep.
in Canadian Football League, and
And
Doug
Doug
Flutie and things like that. I don't even know when the season starts and ends now. I don't know.
Well, I remember when not too long ago the Canadian Football League was talking with one of the recent incarnations of the XFL as a merger, and that never happened. So I'd be very, very curious to see some CFL games. I haven't watched it in quite a while.
Okay, yeah, I remember what is it, Toronto Alouettes? Then
There was
you have
Toronto Argonauts, the Montreal Alouettes,
Montreal Alouettes. There were two temes called Rough Riders,
Ottawa and Saskatchewan.
so I don't know how they managed that.
I think one of them changed their names.
Well, one was the Eskimos.
Yes.
Well, I don't think they call the Eskimos anymore because is that a
you're
a derogatory term now? Did they change to Rough Riders or what? I don't know what happened.
You're getting into the weeds on me with that one. So I said, I haven't followed CFL in a while.
Yeah.
Back in the States, we have Hard Rock Bet announcing the full launch of SGP Max as part of their enhanced same-game parlay experience.
Oh, okay.
Under SGP Max, players are allowed to parlay multiple single-game parlays together, up to 20 bets across different games, sports, and futures.
Oh, wow. Okay, so this is Hard Rock, huh?
Yep, this is a parlay on a parlay on a parlay.
I think I forgot what game. It was a Sixers game. I forgot what it was. It was a couple of weeks ago. But I was in Hard Rock in Atlantic City, and I placed a bet there. So this technology is now at the kiosk?
No, only on the website.
Only,
on the Hard Rock Bet.
Okay.
Not Hard Rock Sportsbook.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Hard
good.
Rock Bet.
That's good to know.
So if you have one single game parlay and then you have another single game parlay, you can parlay those together, increase your odds.
Oh, okay.
That's what this is.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. Multiple single game parlays parlayed into one big bet.
Yeah, no, because I usually don't do this, but I use the kiosk making the bet, and I was curious to see if that technology was now available if I want to make another bet at the kiosk. So
over in Illinois, we have DraftKings, or rather its subsidiary Northside Crown Gaming, receiving their 4-year master sports wagering license.
Okay.
So they can operate their retail sportsbook at Wrigley Field.
Okay.
Well, they had a temporary one. Now it's 4-year license, and also it came with a mobile wagering license as well. So they are now fully licensed in the state of Illinois to operate mobile and retail.
Now, when you say in Wrigley Field,
it's the one attached to the field. It's not inside. There's no inside access.
You're not going to have inside. Okay.
Right. Over in Florida, we have Prize Picks and Underdog launching their peer-to-peer games. Underdog is the Pick'em Championship game. Prize Picks is Prize Picks Arena. Both are brand new on the scene. Both are peer-to-peer fantasy sports betting experiences.
Okay.
Pennsylvania, we've got Mohegan Digital launching play.moheganpacasino.com. That's a mouthful.
Okay.
It's a new online casino for Mohegan Sun.
Good.
And they've incorporated the Momentum loyalty program into it.
Now, is this only in Pennsylvania right now?
That's just Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And finally, we've got a couple closures to talk about, one in Ohio, one in Colorado. We've got the DRF Sportsbook closing in Iowa, which is Daily Racing Form.
Yeah, you told me that. What's DR? You said Daily Racing Forms. Oh, okay.
They had only launched in Iowa.
Okay.
So, but it doesn't affect the DRF bets. Horse
right.
racing betting operations.
Okay.
And over in Colorado, a sports book called Novig has closed. Colorado was their only state as well.
Okay. Was that a local one in
They
Colorado?
were trying something different where all they do is charge the professional bettors that sign up for their site. I don't know. I never understood their concept, to be honest with you.
All right.
But they closed.
Okay.
Their notice was kind of weird, too, because it was different than normal closure statements where they said, get your money out by this date, but check back with us later for more enhancements.
Okay. By the way, I got one of those notices, too, from Unibet. I got to get all my
but
money out.
That was a straight closure.
This
one had the statement saying, check back later for more updates.
Yeah, so I got to get the money out of my account pretty soon. I guess by May 14th, I think they told me.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Let's finish up with our legislative roundup. Starting off our legislative roundup, we're going to the state of Minnesota. We have Representative Stevenson filing Bill HF 5724 that would make historical horse racing machines at the state's 2 commercial racetracks illegal.
Oh, okay.
First time I've seen a bill that does that.
Yeah,
in a while. So,
is there any reason why he did that, or just?
I think it has something to do with the other sports betting bill that's going on. So
Okay.
there's a lot of wheeling and dealing going on here with all this trying to get sports betting passed.
Okay.
It's already passed one committee. It's on to the next ones, and it's moving its way up the ladder. Over in Alabama, we've got the Alabama legislature forming a 6-member conference committee to try and figure out this mess that's been created between the Senate and the House. The Senate version of the gambling bill authorizes tribal compacts and a state lottery. The House bill has gone a little further. Besides those parts of it, they also include expansion into commercial casinos and sports betting.
Okay.
So they are now in conference committee trying to figure what to do with this bill and how to mix and match certain things. You know, they're going to Frankenstein it.
Yeah, basically. Well, I hope they pass something. Look, get some money into the state, get some, fix your roads, help out the school systems, do healthcare and whatever you need for the state, but it brings money in. And like I said before, it's a safe way to do it.
Yes. By the time this is aired, we'll probably have a little bit more clarity on what the committee has done.
Oh, hopefully.
Now we're going to finish up in Arkansas. We don't talk too much in the legislative section. We've got a very interesting way Arkansas is going about online casinos.
Good for Arkansas, but I don't know too much about gaming in Arkansas. So,
it's
enlighten me.
Casino, sports betting, and mobile sports betting. That's what they've got right now, and a lottery as well. But according to Carlton Safa, who works over at Saracen Casino Resort, he's the CMO, he wrote to the Arkansas Racing Commission on behalf of the casino, asking for a change in the rules to allow internet casino gambling.
Okay.
Now, the one aspect of all this...
Now, is this a statewide thing?
Statewide.
Okay, good, because some of these other states have, online gambling, but you have to be on the property, what kind of defeats the...
That's Mississippi.
Yeah, kind of defeats.
Well, they're looking at doing statewide, too, at
Okay,
some
but,
point.
look,
Well, the reason he's writing to the commission is that since online poker was already previously authorized under the sports betting bill, the mobile sports betting launch, it was never approved, never given the authorization to launch an online poker in the state.
Sure.
But what SAFA is writing to the regulators is that all they have to do is change the language of the coding that authorizes online poker to include internet casino games.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting way to go about that. A lot of people don't realize when mobile sports betting was authorized The bill also included language for online poker, but that was never authorized by the state regulators, so that never launched. But it's on the books that they can launch online poker.
Okay, good.
It's one of the few states that has that, which is kind of interesting.
Well, they just need operators that want to jump into Arkansas. And one of the big things also is if you're going to allow online poker, do you join the Interstate Compact, which allows online poker players in your state to play with online poker players in another state? So,
which requires another bill.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I guess
so you got to look at the legislative session and timing with all that. So we'll see what happens with Arkansas, but that's already authorized in terms of internet casino. If they just expand the definition, I don't know how difficult it is under Arkansas law to change a definition of the code that they're referring to.
Probably like pulling teeth when you're dealing with politicians.
If they don't want to do it.
Yeah.
If they don't want to do it. It's basically, what are you going to do for me to get this changed? That kind of stuff. So, but that's it for this week's Turnpike Sports Book Report. Press releases, info at turnpikesportsradio.com. Keep those coming in. If you've been watching on TV, you have been seeing the ticker fly by below us, which includes news stories we didn't have a chance to cover in this half hour. And as always, there will be a full print version of the book report on our blog, turnpikesports.us. Click on the blog button. That will be published right after the show is released every Monday morning.
And that'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.